Right, here we are today at the Thwaites water wheel. Big gift shop and such like there. More buildings kicking about. Nice still mill pond there, some what's that brick embankment over there. Let's head over to the entrance and go and take a look. Oh, there's your opening times. Oh, look at this, 1940s old war shelter. I think they're more commonly known as the Anderson Air Raid Shelter. To me, that should have been buried in the ground a little bit more as well.
Yes, definitely.
Don't think that corrugated iron is very bomb-proof, but... Oh, we've got a tilly lamp up there as well. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to have spent the Blitzkrieg hanging out in one of them bad boys. I'll look at that building in a wee bit. A bit more canal over here. Oh, there's a lovely crane. Oh, the wharf was once the busiest and most important part of the Thwaite mill. Here boats being flint, china stone and chalk were unloaded. The stone was piled near the crane or taken into the mill by horse and cart. Wooden swing bridge was used to span the Aire and Calder navigation from 1824 until 1951. Each time a boat wanted to pass by Thwaite Mill, the boat captain would throw a penny to the man in the hut, and in return it would swing the bridge open. Don't appear to be any bridge here no more. Oh, there's your 3-ton safe working load steam crane. Well, I don't like that boiler's been going for a while. Not much of a cab, is there? A couple of sheets of corrugated iron, but out's better than now. Look at that winching gear there. So it looks like steam drive them pistons there. Turn that crankshaft. Wind these gears here. And tension those cable drums there. And assume this bevel gear arrangement here. And operate that slew ring. A nice brake shoe there. I wonder if that's all full of asbestos. Not quite sure what the outriggers are anchored to. Bolt there, so could have been a. That's not likely to be a concrete pad set under there, is it? Looks like a concrete pad, but there's a Trans-Pennine Trail. Exciting route for walkers, cyclists and horse riders. Links the North Sea and the Irish Sea. Oh, there's the orchard. No cherries on the tree. They'll be gone. They come round out early July. Been and gone. We've just got our apples. A couple of different varieties there. That dam's under something at the bottom there, I think it is. Don't seem too ripe then, to be honest. Some sort of damson or plum then. Oh, it tastes divine. Oh, really sweet. Capture a couple of them. Always nice to get some off of a tree, I think. Right, just have another look in there after. Oh, there's the bandstand. Oh, some more sheds over there. I don't know if that's part of the tour or not. Oh. No plum in there. Probably come off this plum tree. Not quite as sweet, but it might not be quite as ripe. Look at that loading door there. I would assume that's got a raised floor inside. That's why it's bricked up like that. Yeah, you can just sort of see that at the bottom of the window, so that would have been where wagons or vans, whatever, would have reversed up to at the time. I thought I might have seen some sort of loading crane thing out the top, but the flatbed trucks would have parked up next to that there, and it would have just been walk off the bed of the wagon. Old Titan steam engine. Oh no, sorry, petrol paraffin. It's a great big engine that probably weighs several tons and doesn't have a lot of horsepower. Not a lot put in the way there for operator comfort though.
This way to exit to the building.
Honestly, these are different types of watermill. Overshot. Undershot goes that way. That's the shed where we were before. Upstairs going down to maintaining the waterways or whatever. Looks a bit overgrown, but right. In here is where they would grind the chalk. There must be some of the infrastructure missing because I'm quite sure where the water wheels would be, but that's where the chalk was ground, and then it was dried out in those wooden troughs over there. Well, there's one there. All these other pits here. Still got it now. All this chalk would have been used for whitewash, putty, polish and paint back in the day. Must have pumped the slurry through those pipes or something then into these tanks. It's like a wheel moving in there, so we'll go and check that one out next. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's a wonderful creaking sound. Bevel gears and machinery. Not too noisy, it's just like it's ticking over nicely. There's the line shaft actually turning now. That'll take us into the engineer's workshop. Could be a video in itself. First we're going to the water wheels. My God, there's a lot going on in here. That's the water wheel going round. Water passes through all these gears and flywheels. Up to that belt driven up there. Along this line shaft here. More reduction gears over there. Belt driven, sending it back here to this bevel gear, which is what's driving that line shaft, which is taking out our drive then over to the engineer's workshop. My God, there's bevels, takeoffs everywhere, holes in the floor. I've not seen them for years. Walkways up there. Look at the lubrication of them joints. backup diesel engine there. Water cooling system for it. Fabricated brackets here, and made out of channel, make that look like it's a later edition or some historical work or something. Renovation work, should I say. Those amazing shafts are going up through the floors, driving more and more machinery. Appears to be some sort of tank up there, but I can't see any kind of... Oh, that'll be driven from below here, sorry. Right off the main shaft, from the water wheel, through a selection of gears. Engage that bevel gear. Which will take us a drive on up to this tank here. Don't know what's in there. My staircase is out of action. Oh yes, health and safety officer's wet dream, this place. Just look at that belt there. Nice dart factory. Be a fantastic place to get yourself involved in getting in there. Here's the actual mill. A water wheel, should I say. These line shafts, gear wheels and pulleys, it's just like mechanisation and power to every corner of this building, and we're still only on the ground floor. This looks like some sort of boiler arrangement, not quite sure who Raymond was, but look at this mill here. Difficult to... Those wheels must be 6 foot in diameter. Steve Bruce, this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is a crushing plant, right? So I'm not quite sure where the drive comes off for this, but these will have crusher jaws there. These rocks will go into on concentric cams to break it up, and then it falls down here. What does it say? Blake's painted June 14th, 1858. Soho Foundry, Leeds. So then that would then crush the rock. I assume that toe jack's not original. And then this bucket conveyor here would then convey the broken pieces of rock, fragmented rock, into this pan here. This mill pan, where those rocks would pulverise it. Not sure how they got it out of there. I assume as it reached up to this level here, then as those wheels would turn, and push the slurry out of here. More line shaft pulleys up there. I assume these tanks then would agitate it and mix it further. Some kind of drying process. I can't quite fathom out how or where that would get to all these other areas, but you really do need to actually come and get confused here with me, because look at that staircase there. If that's not the stairway to heaven. One handrail. Doesn't look like a trapdoor. I don't know what it's meant to be accessing. Got a little access here to that other building where we were before. Back round to this redundant water mill here. Look at the centres of them joists there. I'm anticipating quite a bit more heavy machinery up there. They must be, well, there must be 6-inch gaps in between them at maximum. Oh, like 8x3s as well. It really is quite an impressive structure. Just need to find out how we get upstairs. What's this treat we've got in here now? This is the Marshall 120 horsepower semi-diesel stationary engine. It started by compressed air, and these compressed air can be compressed by hand to create the tension to start this engine up. It was brought in by the Horn family. Shame we can't really get in there to have a better look at that, but it's barriered off. Health and safety again, no doubt. But and it's a fantastic engine. Right, let's have a look at the engineer's workshop. Left to right, I suppose. Any objections? Nice little drill there, not connected up. I've got the line shaft, is coming in here. And then power will be taken off that drive there to that belt, brought down here. It's like a blower that's powering. And where the forge is. Yeah, oh, we do know where the forge is. And that pipe will blow, drive to that fan in the corner there, along that pipe down the bottom here, to Blacksmith's Forge. We've got a lot to look at here. Then we've got this grinding stone powered off that shaft, which would then take another belt off this line shaft here, which is going down. And just wait till you see this, ladies and gentlemen. Down to this lathe here. That must be a 5-foot diameter faceplate on that baby. A little one over here with a 2'6", 3-foot faceplate, but look at the size of the bed on that lathe. There must be 10-foot working space on that bed. That table as well, fantastic. Size of that tooling. Nice little wooden lathe on the back. And that again would have turned off this main line shaft. A little bit of 5S workplace organisation was obviously taking place here as well, with those selection of nuts and bolts there in the racking. Some G-clamps, pulley blocks, various pliers and blacksmith tools. Rather substantial sized vise. Anvil, sorry. the blacksmith's vice. And also just did a bit of cobbling as well. Can't really see that, but that's a shaping machine. James Buchanan and Son, Liverpool Limited, engineers. Babcock and Wilcox Limited, London and Renfrew. There's little ratchet drills. I've not seen them for donkey's years. My dad used to use them in plants, petrol plants and stuff where you weren't allowed to create any sparks, and they use these ratchet drills. They had this kind of square tapered shank on the drill bit. I turned them all down and lathe into drills. Could have donated them to the museum, I suppose. Look at those light switches as well, aren't they great? Nice little press there. There's more of the drill bits with square driven end. Selection of jacks and pullers. There's another blacksmith's vice there. Let's take a photo of that. Asking me a few questions about them. Right, next monster of metalwork is this drill here. It's a lovely drill bed. Very little damage to it as well, to be honest, but look at that drill bit there. It's basically like a chisel. Bit of hairy operation using one of them. A little circular saw there as well. And a small tool, grinding wheel. Oh yes, and the statutory abrasive wheels regulation 1970. Don't suppose that we need to know that it's been superseded by the pure regulations for provision and use of work equipment regulations 1993, I think. Oh yeah, what I was going to say, I'm wondering this red arrangement here, is this some sort of crane? Or part of it missing? Actually got a shaft in that lathe there. I don't know how well you can see that with the light coming in, but nice little set of rollers. Is it a set of rollers? What on earth does that do? Those bits there fit on the end. I'm not entirely sure, to be perfectly honest. We all know what that little favourite is, don't we? Potbelly stove, complete with teapot. Those lathes are just absolutely monstrous. That's actually a shaft in that lathe as well, isn't it? Yeah. Look at the tailstock, it's 9-inch diameter wheel. Bolt there. There's a spanner that operated it. This lathe here is actually, there's a hole in the floor to get the, it's actually a two-piece. The bed's separate. It's a mechanised bed with that gear pin, ratchet running all the way down there. That tailstock's not off of it, is it? That tailstock there. Coarseness of the pitch of that thread. I'm just so happy to see that, that line shaft turning. Okay, we're up to the second floor. Screw conveyor going along there. Fantastic view out the window, don't you can see the water there. Strong suspect that Ingersoll Rand compressor's a later edition. Leeds Yorkshire Breweries Limited. Pure ales. Wow. Oh. Right, we're up in the roof space now. Don't condone graffiti whatsoever, but it's quite traditional. It's looks like it's done out of a bit of chalk. A nice one, Faith and John. 1Z, 1 ounce, is it? Right. Is this some kind of material coming out of here? I don't know what that is. Look at that tension device and that conveyor belt there. So under its own weight, that arrangement with the weight of that roller on there would keep the tension of the conveyor belt with a little bit of movement. So if anything, there's the depression in here, and the weight on it would lift that up. It would keep the tension on at all times. That's great. Wooden rollers. Still working today, fantastic. Wooden blocks in there. Bit of conveyor belt. I wonder what sort of clipping mechanism they've used. I don't know what that thing across the top for, some sort of levelling device. Oh! There's our conveyor belt clip there. You can't see it very well. It does look, it's not unlike a sort of Flexclo lacing. You can just see at the far end there. It's not really. I was going to liken it to something like an R42 Flexco alligator clip, but it's a sort of nailed on, looks like a laced clip with a pin through it. So shows technology's not moved on that much in the last couple of 100 years with conveyor belt fixings. We looked up from the ground floor earlier through those holes there. This chain arrangement here to hold that pulley wheel, and then this chain would have come through here, through that pulley wheel there, and then there's your winching arrangement, and that would have dragged whatever needed to come up here or go down there. I assume that this lever here arrangement, it looks like it's been sawn off, so it's probably quite a bit longer. As you apply pressure down here, then you would lift that shaft up there, and then that would tension that drive belt there, which would assist in the rotating of that shaft for you, and then power this up. So quite medieval sort of technology. There's another one, you might see it. Again, that extension piece has been put underneath. As that piece of wood runs down there to your pivot point there on the upright section, then again you could lift that up there, create tension to engage drive onto that wheel there. There's holes either side of that where belts would have gone downstairs to connect to other shafts. Again, we've got our main line shaft running through here. Interesting why that winch goes down to that one and not off this one. The logical way for me would have been off that one there, but maybe this was a service drive or something else. I think these shells here is where they would dry things. It's quite warm up here. Got some ducting as well. Another conveyor belt there. So that looks like it's less than 2.5 metres because I can touch it, so that's a nip point. Doesn't appear to have any kind of guarding, giving us 1 metre in. Sorry, that will be we're assuming that conveyor belt, well, we know that conveyor belt's running that direction, so the return will come this way, so we really want sort of like a 1 metre guard here, and 300 in the non-nip point end. Anything less than 2.5 metres, so we're not saying that, but it's not running, so we can't really need to complain too much about that. Here we've got another coming off that line shaft, what looks like a blower there inside of a wooden box, coming down this duct in here. Sort of like riveted and roll construction. Very interesting type of, I suppose most would call that a Jubilee clip these days, but look at the way they formed that lobster back bend. That would have been done with like, yeah, slightly tapered pieces of metal rolled round in order to form that bend. And it's going into a bit of sort of like an off-round oblongy shape there for some reason. Quite how well you can see that, but it seems to be quite spherical at the vertical. And that's where it would discharge from that conveyor belt. So look underneath of that bearing, that little grease pot there, or oil pot, quite sure. And it's kind of like we'd assume that's a very slow moving with the construction of that tail drum, head drum, I'm not sure. Ascertain where it's driven from. It must be driven from this end. It's driven from this end. Look at that. You can't see that, but there's a pulley wheel on the end there connected to that shaft. So it connects onto that pulley wheel there and this belt. Wow. That fantastic transition there as it moves from that shaft there around those kind of transitioning rollers there to turn that belt. Oh, no doubt it was just when it's around that pulley there, it's tensioned differently. But yeah, that's fantastic. Oh, we'll get a closer look at the clip here. Yes, it's a sort of like nailed on lace type clip with essentially a welding rod put through the middle. Can't see the manufacturer's name on it, but yeah, it's very similar to the stuff we use today. Oh, there's another. I would assume these are very slow moving belts. Though I don't know, they could be fast. I'm assuming that. I shouldn't assume anything. Joint in that conveyor rail there. And it looks like somebody's just knocked a bit of tongue and groove flooring underneath there. wooden conveyor belts. More chalk drying racks. I just find it's exact. Oh, what have we got here? What have we got here? Thomas the Tank Engine. Choo choo. They've even thought about putting a train set up here. Every boy's dream. Look at that. Choo choo. That is amazing. No wonder no work got done. So from those levitation pits down below, if you remember, this was the very first building where we came into at that end there, and there was some kind of arrangement. I thought it was like a sluice door or something, and in the middle of the thing, obviously what it must be is that elevator there. I feel like I need to go back down and have another look at that, but that would have then brought these chalk wagon, I mean, it's a cross between a dumper truck and a train. So that would have come up in that lift, which I'm not sure how it works, but we've got some sort of lever arrangement above here going on to that. That would have been then, I assume, the drive for this, and wherever this is going, this line shaft here. Right, enough of that one. So these dump skip wagons would have come up here in this elevator onto that turntable. It doesn't look like any kind. There's 4 holes in there, whether at some stage there was some kind of track bolted on there, but it's definitely the size of that nut was a pivot. Then turn that, and then send it over here. And then those racks there, that's where they would have baked the chalk in those little moulds. And gone all the way around there to that side, on the train lines. Come back here, over there. And it just goes to that side for some reason. I'm not sure why. Those tracks look pretty straight. They're not quite as curved as the other side, so perhaps that was just a bit of additional drying on that side for whatever reason. Although there's racks here, but hey, you don't pay mate by a penny a day, then you can carry it over here, can't you? And they might have just been moved there, them racks. Somebody's left his spanner out. I'm looking for that one day. Yes, this line shaft must go downstairs. Actually, looks like some sort of crude guard in there. I would have put that on there. What was in behind this box here? But yes, there's more of those drying racks. I don't know how well you can see that against them walls there. And this is another sort of duct in again. A fantastic lobster back arrangement. Riveted sheet metal. You know, that's... I'm going to say it took a certain level of skill to make that, and I think it probably would, you know, for us... I don't know. There's some sort of, like, access hatch in the top there, coming down here. I don't know. Would this have been some sort of crude filtration system? There's a wooden box draped in Hessian going up there. It seems to be a 4-sided box, that, like it's a chute coming off of it. So whether some byproducts of whatever that tank did. Not a lot of information about what they're doing here, but there certainly is a lot going on up here. Well, look at that, sort of like almost a medieval trolley, utilising 3 rollers there and an old what essentially looks like a scaffolding plank. There's another boiler here. Looks like temporary access and a small place perhaps where the foreman could take a rest. That doesn't look like it's meant to be there, but needless to say, look at them rivets. Again, that look at the thickness of that plate. 5/16 minimum thick. How on earth did you get that up here? And it's only about 4 foot diameter and about 10 foot long, but I would estimate you could be talking the guts of a ton in there. And well, this is the roof we are. Oh my. Oh my. Right. So there was the door. I just looked at it and assumed it was no entry. It's not like me. Not like me at all. So this is, I don't know if you're getting confused here. I'm not just getting my head around it, but downstairs on the lower level, I said there was somewhere where there was a drive that could be connected. I think. Sorry, scratch all that. Right. Downstairs, where I said there was a bevel gear that could be driven, and then a tank upstairs. That is this tank. So that looks like it just rotates and then grinds the stone against the bottom of the metal of the tank. So that would have ground the flint and china stone. 12 hours it took with the four. Okay, they stayed in what those called the wash stones. And then the other stone was turned around that, and those stones actually did the breaking up and the crushing of the other stones. So they're sitting there for 12 hours, so they were crushed up. And then they were brought out. Can't see how and where, but we've got stone kicking around here. Got sort of like rudimentary wheelie barrow type machine there. Another tank here. That's where one of the shafts come through from downstairs. Fantastic bevel gears there. Some kind of tank here. Found later construction there, still riveted. It says TMS 1992.7. Whether that's a manufactured date, I don't know. Even in 92, where would you get a man who know how to operate them rivets? But that's constructed by rolled steel angle and flat bar straps that's plated over. Still well constructed, nice hole centres at the bottom. Tank. This is the weir outside where the sort of create a dam to hold back water and give it a bit of build up a bit of pressure for the water wheels. Just seeing there's a plastic chair which has been carelessly discarded by a member of the public. This is the putty packing shed. This would have been where they would have packed the putty. That was what that old fellow was saying. He used to come here for green tubs of putty, wasn't it? Scared of somebody nicking it, tied it down.